The next demo up is by someone who began his career at the prestigious five-star Lanesborough Hotel in London under executive chef and mentor Paul Gaylor, MBE. He worked in several highly acclaimed Michelin-starred restaurants, learning modern and technical cooking with some of the best in the world. He's now the director of culinary research and development at New York's Institute of Culinary Education, Go New York. He embraces a modern approach to cooking and teaches food as a science. So please welcome Chef Barry Tonkinson from the Institute of Culinary Education.
I'm going to show you a Dover sole with grapes dish based on the classic sole Veronique. We're going to be using the sous vide method to cook this delicate fish all the way through. So here we're going to prepare the Dover sole. I have a beautiful Dover sole here. And we're going to start by removing the skin. Now with this, we just lay the fish down nice and flat. And we're going to make a small incision in the tail. And we're just going to lift back the skin just a little bit until we have enough to get hold of. So I'm just working the skin back very, very gently. And once I have enough of a purchase here, I'm going to take the fish and using a towel, we're going to grab the skin, we're going to hold the fish down flat, and we're going to tear the skin all the way back like this. So you remove the skin and you have the beautiful large fillets of the sole here. Now this is a great method for preparing the skin like this so that we keep all of this beautiful fillet intact. So we're going to do the same on the other side. Again, a small incision at the tail all the way along. Slowly and very gently work the skin away from the fillet. And again, once we have enough to play with, hold the fish down and gently pull back. And again, the second skin has come off. So now we need to prepare the fish. So we're going to come down the backbone here, all the way down to the tail. I'm going to cut around the head. And we're going to slowly work the fish, the fillet, from the bone in long strokes down the fillet. All the way down like this. Turn the fish around, cut through. There we have the first fillet. Same on the other side. Now I'm working from tail to head, all the way up. And then we turn over and we do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now we have our 4 beautiful fillets prepared. And here are the bones that we can use for stock. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of these fillet of Dover sole, and we're going to make a very light mousse from them. So we're just going to take these smaller fillets that I have here, and we're just going to roughly cut like this, and we're going to place them into our blender. Here I'm using a Thermomix. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is add some egg whites. So here I have some brown eggs. And we're just going to separate the egg white and the egg yolk. Okay. I'm going to just turn on the blender, and we're just going to blend the fish very gently. And now we're going to add egg whites to that mixture. A little salt. And we're going to blend until smooth. Okay, now I have a paste. I'm going to add cream whilst blending again until we have a smooth mousse. A beautiful fish mousse here. So now we're going to roll the fish mousse that we've just made into a cylinder. So I'm going to place the mousse into a piping bag. And we're going to roll out some plastic. And we're going to pipe the mousse down like so. Then we're going to roll the plastic around, keeping this nice and tight. And we're going to roll this up so we have a really nice tight cylinder. Just like this. Now this goes into the freezer until it's nice and firm and set, and then we can use this as a filling for the other 2 fillets of sole. Okay, so now for stuffing the sole, we're going to take 1 fillet down like this, second fillet. We're going to unwrap the mousse that we've had wrapped up, just like that. And now we're going to dust the fillets on what was the skin side with a little bit of Activa. Now this is going to help to seal the fish together and to also keep the mousse in place. So a little bit of activa there. Place the mousse in the center, and then the fish goes on top. Now, we need to roll up the fish nice and tight so that each fillet meets until we have a completely smooth cylinder. We're going to twist each end and tie off. And this goes in the refrigerator to allow this to set together, and then we can cook it sous vide. The next step, we're going to make some compressed grapes. So what we need for this is we need some white grapes here, and we're just going to put a little X in the top of each grape, just like this. And we're going to blanch the grape in boiling water just for a couple of seconds, just to release the skin from the grape. And then we're going to peel them. And then we're going to place them into a liquid of grape juice and verjus, which is a sour grape juice, along with a little bit of fructose for sweetness and a little bit of malic acid for some tartness. And we're going to vacuum seal the grapes in that juice. And the grapes will absorb all of that liquid and become compressed with those flavors. We take our grapes into a pot of water, ice water next door. We take out our grapes and chill them very, very quickly. Just like that. Once they've chilled, we can now peel the grapes. So just going from that marker that we've just made, peeling all the way down until we have peeled grape like this. The next thing we need to do is get our liquid for the compressed grapes. So we have some white grape juice, which goes in there, a little bit of jus de verjus, which is sour grape juice, some fructose, and some malic acid, and that's going to give us a little bit of tartness to a mixture. Whisk this together. Just until the fructose and the malic acid have dissolved. Now we can place our peeled grapes into this juice, and we can vacuum seal them on 100% vacuum to allow all of that liquid to be absorbed into the grapes. We're going to place the grapes that have been peeled into the bag. This mixture of grape juice, jus de verjus, malic acid, a little fructose. And then they go into the sealer. Okay. So there we have our grapes that have been compressed in this juice, and we're going to leave this in the refrigerator for about an hour. Okay, so the next component is going to be a grape fluid gel. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some white grape juice here, and we're going to take some moscato. So this is a sweet wine made from muscat grapes, and we're going to blend this together with some gellan gum. So in goes with the immersion blender with a Bamix, and just going to pour in the gellan. Now we're going to heat this mixture just under boiling point. So it's been heated at 93 degrees C for 3 minutes. We have an ice bath here. Place a mixing bowl over the top, and we're going to pour our mixture in to chill very, very quickly. Now we need to leave this to set, and it's going to turn like a jelly, which we can then blend afterwards. Now we have our jelly here. We're going to cut this out. And you can see it's made a very, very firm gel. So now we're going to place that into the blender. And we're going to blend this until nice and smooth. To this I'm going to add a pinch of xanthan gum. And this is going to thicken slightly and give us a beautiful smooth texture. Perfect. Okay, so now the fluid gel is ready. We're going to place this into our piping bag here. So there we have our fluid gel, and this goes into the fridge until we're ready to use it. And we're going to do a moscato and verjus beurre blanc. So what we need for this is some shallots. We need some moscato, some tarragon vinegar, a little bit of verjus, some heavy cream, and then lots and lots and lots of butter. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare the shallots. So we're just going to dice these up very, very small. And we're going to place these into a small sauce pot. And to that we're going to add the moscato, tarragon vinegar, verjus, which is our sour grape juice, and then we're going to place this on the stove. And we're going to reduce this down until it becomes thick and syrupy. Meanwhile, I'm going to dice up some butter. Now we're going to prepare some chives to go into the sauce. So we need to take these chives and very, very finely cut them. Okay, so now my mixture is reduced all the way down, and we got what's starting to be a syrup now, with all that sweet wine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a little bit of heavy cream to this, and this is going to give us a really nice luxurious mouthfeel, and it's also going to help stabilize the sauce as well. So in goes our heavy cream, and now we're going to reduce this mixture down by about half. We're going to take some unsalted butter, which is ice cold. It's just come out of the refrigerator. And we're going to add the butter slowly to this reduced wine mixture. And we're going to emulsify this butter in. So we're going to add a little bit at a time. Just as I see the butter starting to melt in, I add a little bit more. And we just keep adding the butter until we've got a very, very thick, luxurious butter sauce. Starting to smell very, very good. So now we're going to finish off by straining the sauce through a chinois to remove the shallots that we have in there, to give it a silky smooth texture. So now we go, strain off. Okay, so there we have our verjus and moscato beurre blanc. So now we have our fish here, and we're going to unwrap this from the plastic, place this inside our bag, and we're going to cook this at 124 degrees Fahrenheit or 51 degrees Celsius. So we're going to vacuum seal this. Okay, so there we have our cylinder of Dover sole with the sole mousse inside. And we're going to cook this very, very gently now. And this is the key part about using sous vide for this application. We're going to get a nice and gentle heat on the flesh. And this is going to give us a great texture, but also fantastic flavor. So in this goes, and this is going to cook for about 25 minutes. All right, so we have our grapes that have been compressed. And we're just going to open up. And now we're going to slice the grapes. And this is going to be the garnish for the fish. And I can see that they've already changed color and they've absorbed all of that liquid that we've vacuum sealed them in. And they're going to taste beautifully sweet and tart. So we're going to do very, very fine slices of the grapes. Perfect. So we have all these slices now, and this goes as the garnish for the fish. Fish is cooked. We're going to take it out of the bath. The fish. So we get the center portion of the fillet. As you can see here, we've got the beautiful mousse inside the fish like that. And very, very delicately cooked. Put a little salt on top of the fish, just like this. And now we get to add these compressed grapes to the outside of the fish. And what we're going to do is essentially replicate scales on a fish all the way across like this. So there we have the compressed grapes around the fish. We're going to finish the dish. First thing to do is to add the grape fluid gel. And what we're going to do is I'm putting a little spin on this dish, quite literally. And we're going to use the fluid gel to capture the sauce when it's on the plate, to keep it nice and compact. Use out all the air. Going to take our sauce here. I'm going to add some chives to that for a little bit of color and freshness. Then the fish in the center of the plate. And finally, we're going to add a little bit of tarragon oil over the grapes. Just like that. And then we have my dish, which is a take on sole Veronique with sole mousse, some muscat grapes, and a verjus beurre blanc.
I mean, I'd like to apologize for that video. Generally, we try to, do things that kind of showcase sous vide and some of the things that we don't do just every single day in our own kitchens over and over again, right? I don't understand where Barry comes up with this stuff. It is amazing. It's been really nice working with him both at the ISVA and I was bummed. I was actually supposed to start teaching at the Institute of Culinary Education, recreational sous vide class, and my first class was supposed to be like March 24th, and they shut down on like the 20th. So I never got a chance to actually teach a class there, but they do some really cool stuff. And right now they have a bunch of online classes. So if you're interested in learning about really cool techniques, definitely check out the link in the comments. They're really cool, and the recreational ones are a lot of fun, and they're definitely a little more for people that are home cooks, but you can learn some great cuisines and some great techniques. And then if you're a pro who really wants to master the art of cooking, they do a great culinary program, and I think they're actually just opened up their professional program right now. So if you're looking for, I think it's a 2-year program for really mastering cooking, that is definitely a good option for you to turn to. If you enjoyed that, let them know in the comments. I'll pass along your wows and oohs as well. That looks like an amazing dish, and I wish I could try it right now. It looks so good.